The NBA world has erupted. Giannis Antetokounmpo finds himself at the center of the most explosive trade speculation storm the league has witnessed in years. After another crushing first-round playoff exit, the Greek Freak's future in Milwaukee hangs by a thread. Teams across both conferences are circling like vultures, and the fallout is absolutely devastating for the two-time MVP. The Milwaukee Bucks just suffered their third consecutive first-round playoff elimination. The Indiana Pacers dismantled them in 5 games, exposing every weakness in their championship aspirations. Since winning the 2021 NBA championship against the Phoenix Suns, Milwaukee has managed just one postseason series victory. 1. The Damian Lillard experiment has backfired spectacularly. The star guard suffered a torn Achilles in Game 4 against Indiana and faces missing the entire 2025-26 campaign. ESPN's Shams Charania reported this marks the first summer Giannis has genuinely considered playing elsewhere. Milwaukee's roster is crumbling. Brook Lopez, Gary Trent Jr., and Taurean Prince all enter free agency. The supporting cast that was supposed to deliver championships is dissolving before their eyes. The Bucks find themselves in complete organizational chaos. The Houston Rockets have emerged as the primary predator in this Giannis sweepstakes. The Athletic's Kelly Iko delivered the bombshell report that rocked the basketball world. Iko wrote, Bucks superstar Giannis Antetokounmpo remains a target, team sources said, but there has been recent uncertainty in the past week on Antetokounmpo's actual availability, not to mention the potential asking price Milwaukee would require. Houston finished with a 55-27 record, securing the 2nd seed in the Western Conference. The Golden State Warriors eliminated them in the first round, but the Rockets demonstrated they can compete at elite levels. Their young core includes Alperen Sengun, Jalen Green, and Jabari Smith Jr., plus substantial draft capital. Andy Bailey of Bleacher Report proposed a blockbuster package. The Rockets would send Fred VanVleet, Amon Thompson, a 2027 first-round pick via Phoenix, a 2028 first-round pick swap, a 2030 first-round pick, and a 2032 first-round pick to Milwaukee for Giannis. Giannis would give the Rockets one of the best starting front courts in the league. Bailey wrote, he and Alperen Sengun can play together, and the roster would still have plenty of upside with Jalen Green, Jabari Smith Jr., and Reed Shepherd. The Rockets made their first playoff appearance since 2020 this season. Adding Giannis would instantly transform them into legitimate title contenders alongside the Oklahoma City Thunder and Denver Nuggets. Betting markets favor the San Antonio Spurs as Giannis's most likely destination. The prospect of pairing the Greek Freak with Victor Wembanyama has NBA executives salivating. This combination would create the most devastating front court in basketball history. San Antonio possesses the number 2 and number 14 picks in the 2025 NBA Draft. Their trade package could include Stephon Castle, Devin Vassell, and multiple first-round selections. The Spurs wouldn't touch the Wembanyama-De'Aaron Fox tandem in any negotiations. Zach Buckley of Bleacher Report highlighted the Texas connection. Buckley wrote, if Antetokounmpo wants to win, he has to realize Milwaukee can't give him that chance. You know who could, though? How about a youth-heavy Houston Rockets team that just won 52 games without him? Or a San Antonio Spurs squad featuring the league's next cheat code great in Victor Wembanyama? Both Houston and San Antonio represent the only franchises capable of constructing a Godfather offer for the two-time MVP. Their combination of young talent and draft assets dwarfs every other potential suitor. The Toronto Raptors have reportedly established mutual interest with Giannis. The 2019 NBA champions have pursued his services since he entered the league in 2013. Recent reports suggest Brooklyn trails significantly behind Toronto in any potential Eastern Conference trade scenario. The New York Knicks appear on FanDuel Sportsbook's betting odds as potential landing spots. Their big market appeal traditionally attracts superstars, but their current asset collection pales compared to Western Conference competitors. Giannis reportedly has the Raptors, Knicks, Miami Heat, and Spurs on his preferred destination list. Sports writer Chris Davis reported Milwaukee's internal stance. Davis wrote, after internal discussions, the Bucks plan to trade Giannis Antetokounmpo on their terms. eyeing a rebuild centered on picks and prospects. Giannis has the Raptors, Knicks, Heat, and Spurs on his wish list, but is signaling he won't extend elsewhere, targeting 2027 free agency. Milwaukee prefers a Western Conference deal and has strong interest in top prospect Dylan Harper. The Detroit Pistons have emerged as an unexpected contender in the Giannis sweepstakes. Their proposed package includes Tobias Harris, Jaden Ivey, Ausar Thompson, and Jalen Duren, plus several future first-round picks. A Giannis-Cade Cunningham partnership could dramatically elevate Detroit's championship prospects. The Pistons possess the resources and young talent to construct a competitive offer. Harris averaged 13.7 points, 5.9 rebounds, and 2.2 assists this season while shooting 47.7% from the field. This trade scenario would redefine both franchises. Detroit would accelerate their development timeline, while Milwaukee would acquire multiple building blocks for their reconstruction. The Brooklyn Nets face the steepest climb in pursuing Giannis. Their current roster lacks the depth seen in other suitors. Brooklyn must rely heavily on draft assets, a strategy insufficient against formidable competitors like Houston and San Antonio. The Nets find themselves at a distinct disadvantage in this high-stakes pursuit. Their collection of draft picks cannot match the combination of young talent and future selections offered by Western Conference teams. Shaquille O'Neal delivered a passionate defense of Milwaukee during his appearance on the Good Word with Goodwill podcast. His personal experience leaving Orlando for Los Angeles provides crucial context. Shaq said,
"Nobody cares what city you're in anymore. This ain't the 90s.
If you had advice, if you could give him, if you could bend his ear a little bit, what would you tell him as he's approaching sort of maybe a crossroads in his career?"
I would tell him they're probably throwing in his face bigger market. Doesn't matter. Social media is the market now. You go to LA, and 50% of your contract goes to Texas. More pressure, more articles, and more.
O'Neal emphasized the financial reality facing modern superstars.
When I was coming up, it was small market, you're too small, you probably need to go to a big market. I took advantage of that, but now every market is the same. And not only that, he's making a supermax, so I mean, what do you need a big market for? Like, big market is to help you get more opportunities. If you're already making a supermax, you've already maxed out your opportunities. Now you just have to play and continue to be great and let the opportunities come to you. Nobody cares what city you're in anymore. This ain't the 90s.
Carmelo Anthony echoed Shaq's sentiments during Paul George's podcast. The incoming 2025 Hall of Famer believes Milwaukee possesses sufficient talent around Giannis. Anthony said,
"Them to me." right. They had the pieces, bro. Everything you wanted. All right, granted, Drew Holiday was a major piece. All right, cool, granted. You still, actually, you got Dame Lillard back. Like, that's a piece. You have to make that work. That's a big in a guard. That ain't no two wings. You two are in pick and rolls together. Only way me and him is in a pick and roll together is if we try to manipulate a switch.
Right.
It was unfortunate Dame Achilles, but you got to make that work. Chris Middleton wasn't really, he was hurt, couldn't really get healthy. He maybe needed to change his scenery. Cool. We're going to go get a young back in here. Cool. You get what I'm saying? That's a really, really good wing in this league. Man. You don't need 3 stars. You got 2 already.
All right, but I'll say this.
Now,
top
you
75. You got to change. The scenario has changed, though.
No.
Your second biggest chip is probably not going to play until late next season.
But I'm just saying, this is how it was put together. This is the part that I don't like, is everybody want to keep making excuses about this when he have teams.
Dwight Howard provided the most emotional perspective. His regret over leaving Orlando serves as a cautionary tale for Giannis. One of the craziest things I think I did was just leaving Orlando, not knowing what I had until it was really gone, and not seeing, like, when you go somewhere else, you really in somebody else's shot. You think you can come over there and take it, but nah, it ain't like that. Being in Orlando, I ain't realized I'm young as hell, man. 22 in the finals, you know what I'm saying? 22. One of the best players already, MVP and all that stuff. I'd just tell Giannis, like, man, you are Milwaukee. Where are you going? It ain't nothing else going to hit right after that. His best bet is to just stay put.
One of the craziest things I think I did was just leaving Orlando. not knowing what I had until it was really gone, and not seeing, like, when you go somewhere else, you really in somebody else's shit.
Yeah.
And you think you can come over there and take it, but nah, it ain't like that. So, you know, being in Orlando, I ain't realized I'm young as hell, man. 22 in the finals. You know what I'm saying? 22, one of the best players already, MVP and all that stuff talk. And I didn't know what I was doing down there. You know what I'm saying? So I just tell Giannis, man, you are Milwaukee.
That's
Where's you going? You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing else gonna hit right after that. You know what I'm saying? So I just think his best bet is to just stay put. I mean, they
Despite Milwaukee's playoff failures, Giannis continues delivering elite production. He averaged 30.4 points, 11.9 rebounds, and 6.5 assists per game during the 2024-25 season, while shooting 60.1% from the field. The Greek Freak earned All-NBA first-team recognition for his exceptional performance. His career averages stand at 23.9 points, 9.9 rebounds, 5.0 assists, 1.1 steals, and 1.2 blocks per game. Giannis has accumulated 2 MVP awards, 1 Finals MVP, 1 Defensive Player of the Year award, and 9 All-Star selections. The NBA included him on the 75th anniversary team, recognizing his historical impact. Milwaukee signed Giannis to a 3-year, $175 million extension in October 2023. The WNBA just witnessed their worst nightmare become reality. Caitlin Clark will miss at least 2 weeks of WNBA action with a left quad strain, the Indiana Fever announced. This devastating blow strikes the league at its most vulnerable point, with Clark responsible for 26.5% of all WNBA economic activity in 2024. The timing couldn't be worse for a league that built its entire marketing strategy around one 23-year-old player. The injury announcement sent immediate shockwaves through the basketball world. Clark's first non-preseason missed game since her sophomore year in college represents more than just a setback for the Fever. It exposes the WNBA's complete dependence on their golden goose while revealing a pattern of negligent player protection that enabled this preventable disaster. Evidence suggests Clark played through significant pain while league officials turned a blind eye to mounting concerns. The Fever's statement revealed she would miss a minimum of 2 weeks with further updates provided following re-evaluation. This vague timeline indicates the injury's severity exceeds initial assessments. Clark missed the Fever's preseason opener because of left quad tightness. Now she faces another quad injury in the exact same leg. The team insists this new injury is separate from the preseason issue, but when the same muscle group fails twice in the same season, that's not coincidence. That's a pattern of negligence. Video footage from the May 24th Liberty game captured Clark using heat compression on her leg during actual gameplay. You don't need medical expertise to understand that means she was already dealing with significant pain. Her shots fell short all game long, missing the explosive power fans expect from her deep-range attempts. These visible warning signs should have raised immediate red flags. Coach Stephanie White admitted after the MRI results came back that she wasn't even sure exactly when Clark got injured. The team only discovered something was seriously wrong when they received a message after the game. White said, "I'm glad that she did because we need to nip this in the bud," referring to Clark finally speaking up about her discomfort. This revelation exposes how Clark was hiding her pain while absorbing punishment from opponents who knew referees wouldn't protect her. Clark has endured systematic physical targeting for 2 straight years through her rookie season until the first few games of this year. Defenders have been allowed to grab her, bump her off screens, and deliver hard fouls with minimal consequences from referees. Every game she absorbs contact that would get flagged for other players. The targeting has been obvious, and the officials have done nothing to protect their biggest star. The inconsistent foul calls throughout Clark's career tell the complete story. Players could grab her jersey, bump her off screens, and deliver hard contact with minimal consequences. Meanwhile, Clark got called for the smallest infractions. The referees created an environment where defenders knew they could get away with physical play against her. This injury was completely preventable. Proper rest after the preseason strain, better officiating to stop the targeting, and medical staff recognizing the warning signs could have avoided this disaster. Instead, everyone looked the other way while the league's most important player's body broke down. The season opener between the Indiana Fever and Chicago Sky on May 17th set the tone for everything that followed. Clark and Angel Reese clashed during the Fever's 93-58 victory when Clark slapped Reese's arm hard enough to knock the ball loose and send Reese to the floor. Reese attempted to confront her rival immediately after the play. "You're crazy as fuck!" Reese could be seen shouting in Clark's direction. The incident escalated when referees upgraded Clark's foul to a flagrant after replay review. Reese and Fever center Aliyah Boston each drew technical fouls during the confrontation. Clark maintained her position after the game, stating, "Let's not make it something that it's not. It was just a good play on the basketball. I'm not sure what the refs saw to upgrade it, and that's up to their discretion. It's a take foul to put them at the free throw line. I've watched a lot of basketball in my life. That's exactly what it was. I wasn't trying to do anything malicious. That's not the type of player I am." The rivalry between Clark and Reese dates back to college when Reese helped lead LSU to victory over Clark's Iowa Hawkeyes for the 2022-23 national championship. Reese appeared to taunt Clark by waving her hand in front of her face and pointing to her ring finger. This college animosity carried directly into the professional ranks. A day after the Fever Sky confrontation, the WNBA launched a racism investigation. The league released a statement relating to alleged hateful fan comments at the Sky Fever game. Social media posts alleged that Reese and possibly other Sky players were subjected to racist slurs during the lopsided loss to the Fever. The WNBA concluded its investigation and announced they found no evidence to support the claims. The WNBA said this in its official statement, based on information gathered to date, including from relevant fans, team, and arena staff, as well as audio and video review of the game. We have not substantiated it. Clark addressed the allegations during a media session, explaining the arena's noise level made it impossible to hear specific comments. "It's super loud in here, and though I didn't hear anything, I think that's why they're doing the investigation. That doesn't mean nothing happened, so I'll just trust the league's investigation, and I'm sure they'll do the right thing." Both teams issued statements supporting the investigation process. Chicago Sky CEO Adam Fox said, "We appreciate the quick action by the league and the Indiana Fever to take this matter seriously and to investigate. This process demonstrates the league's strong stance on stopping hate at all WNBA games and events, and we will continue to support those efforts." When asked whether she provided specific details to assist the investigation, Reese declined to elaborate. "That's not a me question," she told reporters, adding that she was receiving widespread support across the league.
They're investigating alleged comments or hateful comments from fans towards Sky players. We talked about this in the past. Now it should be an inclusive environment. If you wanted to speak on that again.
Yeah, there's no place for that in our game. There's no place for that in society. And, certainly we want every person that comes into our arena, whether player, whether fan, to have a great experience. So I appreciate the league doing that. I appreciate, the Fever organization has been at the forefront of that since, really day one and what they're doing. So we'll, hopefully the investigation, we'll leave that up to them to find anything and take the proper action if so.
Clark's physical confrontations didn't end with the Reese incident. During Thursday night's game against the Atlanta Dream, Clark found herself in another shoving match with Atlanta's Rhyne Howard. Howard and Clark jostled for the ball before Howard appeared to push Clark away and go after her rival. Television cameras captured Clark's response to Howard's aggression. Clark appeared to mouth, "I'm not scared of you," directly at the Dream star. The Fever won the game 81-76, moving to 2-1 on the season. But the incident highlighted the continuing pattern of physical confrontations involving Clark. These repeated altercations demonstrate how opponents have been emboldened to test Clark physically, knowing that referees consistently fail to provide adequate protection. The league's tolerance for this behavior created an environment where targeting Clark became acceptable and even celebrated. The most explosive controversy emerged when cameras captured Brittany Griner making comments during the Indiana Fever's 81-76 victory over the Atlanta Dream. Critics accused Griner of calling Clark trash, before allegedly saying "fucking white girl" in frustration over a foul on Natasha Howard. Conservative firebrand Riley Gaines shared the viral clip online and interpreted the three-time Olympic gold medalist's comments as a verbal attack. Brittany Griner appeared to call Caitlin Clark trash and a fucking white girl after fouling out last night, Gaines tweeted. Just a reminder, this is who we traded for, the Russian merchant of death.